A Libyan dissident who was kidnapped with the help of British security services is to receive a formal apology and six-figure compensation from the government. Prime Minister Theresa May said Abdul Hakim Belhaj and his wife Fatima Bouchar suffered appalling treatment. The couple say an MI6 tip-off helped the CIA abduct them in Thailand and that they were then flown to Libya and tortured. Ms. Bouchar was pregnant at the time. Mr. Belhaj has been speaking to our security correspondent, Gordon Carrera, in Istanbul.
In Istanbul, Britain's ambassador stands alongside Abdul Hakim Belhaj, a man who says Britain colluded in the 6 years of torture he suffered in a Libyan prison. The handing over of a letter from the Prime Minister and a handshake signals the closing of a dark chapter for the British government as it finally admits what it did. At the same moment, Mr. Belhaj's wife came to Parliament. With her was the son she was pregnant with, when she too was seized and sent to Libya. It has taken nearly a decade and a half for Mr. Belhaj and his wife to hear this unprecedented apology.
On behalf of Her Majesty's government, I apologise unreservedly. We are profoundly sorry for the ordeal that you both suffered and our role in it. The UK government has learned many lessons from this period.
Mr. Belhaj told me he was grateful for the apology, even though it had taken so long.
It's been 6 years of prison and 6 years of waiting, which was a continuation of the suffering for me and my family, and hopefully today represents the end of all that.
The story begins with another handshake between Tony Blair and Colonel Gaddafi in 2004. The Libyan leader gave up his nuclear weapons program. Britain promised to help him against his opponents. The same month, Mr. Belhaj, who'd fought against Gaddafi, was detained by the CIA in Asia, based on a British tip-off. He and his wife were flown to Libya. She was soon released. But he says he was then tortured over 6 years by Colonel Gaddafi's regime and also interrogated by British officials. After Gaddafi's fall in 2011, letters from MI6 to Libyan officials were discovered, detailing Britain's involvement. 6 years ago, Mr. Belhaj launched a legal action against the British government, Sir Mark Allen, an MI6 officer named in the files, and Jack Straw, who was Foreign Secretary at the time. Today, Jack Straw acknowledged he had given verbal approval for some intelligence to be shared, but says he'd always acted lawfully. Whether he was fully briefed by MI6 remains unclear. Outside Parliament, lawyers who'd worked with the family described the day as a victory for everyone who opposes injustice, secret detention and torture.
The UK lost its way when it got mixed up in the rendition of an innocent pregnant woman and an anti-Gaddafi dissident, but today I think it stood on the right side of history by recognising its mistakes and by apologising.
While his wife received compensation of £500,000, Mr. Belhaj said he did not want money, just an apology. And today he got it.
Gordon Carrera reporting for us there.